What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a great day, not for my wallet, but for Silver Fox here. This is a 2015 F-250, and well, it needs new tires. Not only does it need new tires, but it has the typical wheel worms, as the internet calls it, basically corrosion on the wheels. So since I needed new tires anyways, I used that excuse to also get some new wheels. And I'm doing it an unorthodox way by going through custom offsets. So instead of going to a local guy, I went through custom offsets because the deal was too good. Not only was there a pretty steep discount on the tire and wheels that I selected, but also I got delivered right to my door. It did take a little while, but it's here, and it's time to install them. But let me show you what I'm talking about on my current wheels. So these are the stock wheels on my F-250. And check this out. This is corrosion. Aluminum corrosion. Not good. It looks nasty. You can see why some guys call it the worms as a joke. There are corrosion all over these wheels. And the only way to fix them really is to sand the entire wheel and try to repolish them or recover them. But really it's a band-aid. It's going to come back. So now look wise, I don't mind the look of the stock wheels because I went to 35s on them. So as you can see here, they don't look too bad. And from this angle, my tires don't look too bad either, but you stick your finger in there, they're probably down to, I'd probably say 20 or 30%. So on camera, they might look okay, but there's not a lot of tread left on them. And also what's forcing my hand on this is on the other side. Let me show you. So check this out. This is the back right passenger tire. And look at this, a whole freaking lug missing. Lug meaning the lug of the tire. It is all the way down to the inner tube area. And it is cracked, and I hauled the fifth wheel with this damage. Man, we got lucky. You can also look on these tires here, and they have some major cupping problems going on. As you can see, these are dusty because they're touching. This one isn't. See how it's smooth, no dust on it? Move to this one, it's touching. This is what it isn't. So these tires have major cupping going on. It makes for a very loud, miserable ride. You can see from this angle, these tires just don't have much tread left. Like I said, maybe 20%, 30%. So not time for new tires anyways. And here's some more corrosion for you. As you can see, all these worms in here. So that's no good. And this is how they came. So 18-wheeler showed up at my house, dropped off this pallet of tires and wheels, had to sign for it, of course. So a lot of plastic unwrapping to do here. So here you go. These are the tire and wheel combo I came up with. The Method 315s. The MR 315s. And I already have the Terra Grappler, Nitto Terra Grappler. And it's okay tire. After a little bit, it becomes a little nauseous on the road. But this time I went with the Recon Grappler. So stick with Nitto tires. I got about 60,000 miles out of this set. So I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going with the Recon Grappler now. It's more of a not so extreme AT tire. So, and I'm gonna try to be better about rotating them and stuff like that now. Man, it's looking pretty good. Now I did opt for the like chrome polished lug nut because the stock ones probably won't work with aftermarket wheels, and they look gross anyways. So these probably won't fit. In fact, I can tell you they won't fit with aftermarket wheels. So you're gonna have to get rid of these and get the aftermarket chrome ones, which are pretty nice. The only bad thing is they do come with a custom tool, which is gonna be annoying. But you know, on the old wheel, these would cover it, you know, so it didn't need to be good looking. But that's going away now. It's just gonna look like this. So before I move on, I'm on to the last wheel here. I wanted to explain something to you real quick. So notice how this wheel, and this is having to do with offset. So notice how this wheel is tucked up under the wheel arch. If I were to put the camera right next to the truck, you can't see the wheel at all. And so from the factory, words, the wheels are closer to the shock, closer to the inside of the truck. That also means that they have more of a positive offset. And so if we look at the new ones, so remember these have a little bit of positive offset towards the inside of the truck. If I move to the front, you notice these stick out just a hair, or if not center line with the arch. And so I wanted them to stick out just a little bit, but not like crazy like a lot of those trucks on the road. And this wheel is actually a zero offset. And so you have options when you're purchasing these wheels. And so a zero offset puts it just a tick outside of the fender, which is exactly what I wanted. And you can see the stock wheels are tucked well inside the fender under there. So just a little bit of knowledge for you. So when you're buying them, the zero offset, which is the one I got, will make it flush, and then you can go either way from there. Something else I wanted to mention before I mount these back wheels is notice how these front ones have the front diff lock, right? So you can rotate this guy to lock the front diff when you're four-wheel drive. So you don't need a cap like this. So mine came with 4 caps. I'm only going to use 2. And so you'll need to put, since this one just has an ugly metal thing, you'll have to put this guy behind the wheel before installing them. So come back behind it like so, and that will lock it in. Something else that will help you with putting these heavy wheels on there is using your knees. So get the tire really close by kind of crab walking it to the rim, and then use in concert your knees and your hands to lift like so, and it should slide right on there. So it's a concert of your knees and your hands, so you can actually get your head in the same line as the lugs, and it makes it putting these big heavy tires and wheels on there, especially 35s or 37s or anything bigger, you know. It's kind of a big deal when you're just trying to lift them and muscle them in there. Something else you want to do when you're tightening these lugs down is you want to go to a crossing pattern. So I have all of them just started. So you'll start on one, kind of get it snug, but not like all the way. And if you watch the wheel, it kind of seat. All right, so barely got a little oomph on it. And so we'll go across like this to the other one. You see the wheel kind of move into position there? And so now, as you're tightening these down, you'll want to do what you call a cross pattern. And so I've gone to this one, back to this one. Now I'll go back to the one to the right of it. Right? And then after I get this one tight, I'll go back to this one I originally did and come back to the one to the right of it. So basically right across. And same thing, I'll keep working my way around. Ooh, these are looking good. At least I like them. So like I said, these are 17s. I had 20s. And I really like the look of these. These give more of like a off-road look versus like pavement princess look. So I'm really digging that. So far I'm digging the custom offsets. It just takes a while to get here, guys. So if you're wanting rims today, it's not the place for you. But if you're willing to wait, then this is the thing, you get better deals. All right, guys, there you go. New wheels and tires on. I think they look pretty good. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not sponsored by Custom Offsets, but yeah, I would do it again, I guess, as long as you're willing to wait. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that one. I think they look great. I'll talk to you later, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.